It's open state. Obviously you can close it like this.
Power off in 5 seconds. Press any button on aircraft to cancel.
I love this thing for motorcycle content, slower follow me shots. It works really well. It packs up really small into my bags, you know, on the bike. Now today I'm using the RC2 controller. You have other options for this thing. You can run it with no controller. It's got some preset kind of AI tools in there. You can pair it to your phone, but you get way more control over the image and what the drone is doing with something like this. And with this one with the built-in screen, you're not, you know, you're not relying on your phone and having to plug your phone into the controller for that. So let's get on this trail. Like, we have a little bit of a hike to do and see how this thing does. Look at that. We're almost there. Ready. Active tracking. I think. Yeah. Let's see if we'll get us up to the bluff here. All right, we made it to the bluff. There's the river. The image quality in this drone is still amazing for the price. Let's get some good shots here quick. Lands right in my hand. That's a cool feature. Got the drone in my pocket. If you're looking for the ultimate tracking drone, this is probably not the one. It will track, but it is a struggle. But if you need some quick kind of B-roll, cinematic, really good high image quality shots, you know, up to 60 frames per second, this thing does that actually really well. And with that 60 frames per second, you can slow that down, you know, 50% post. You get some really good kind of slow motion. It also gives the image a better smooth look. You know, it looks less like a drone when you do the 60 frames per second slow motion kind of shot. One issue with 60 frames per second on this drone, and I just kind of realized it today, I didn't really notice it, is it won't active track you in 60 frames per second. So that's kind of a bummer. You got to be in 30 frames per second for the active track. One thing I've noticed as well is I pull the drone out, maybe we're on the bike, we're on a trail, and I decide to use my phone instead of the controller. For some reason, it defaulted to different camera settings. So I'm shooting in the log profile usually so I can color grade it, or, you know, throw on a LUT. It looks better that way. But when on the phone, it forced it into like an automatic, you know, overly saturated image that wasn't as usable, and then you can't really color grade it after the fact. Now there's another drone that we've been using for motorcycle content, and I'll put up some clips of that. It's called the Hover Air Max Pro 1 or something like that. And that drone now, if you want a follow me drone, a compact size that folds out, that drone is phenomenal for that. However, that drone's image quality is just kind of strange. Like, you can't I cannot color grade that thing to save my life. Maybe the standard color profiles that are in it are okay for you, but that thing is over $1,000. We'll get back to the trail here. Barely a decipherable trail here. All right, I'm gonna put the camera down for a minute. Get back onto this kind of groomed trail. It's made it home with the DJI Flip, and dude, really? Hat backwards? What? LED lights in the wall? You going full YouTuber on me or what? Well, okay, I'll turn the hat around. That's it. All right. All right, back at home with the DJI Flip. That was just an overview of my experience with the Flip for the last year. Overall, I've loved this drone. I think it's the best drone for the money right now on the market. Now you get DJI Mini 4 image quality in something a lot cheaper than the Mini 4. These are still available on Amazon. I know a lot of DJI drones are coming off of the market for certain reasons. So prices are going to vary. You're looking right now at $450 to $700 to $800, depending on what combo you get. Now I got this with the RC2 controller. Again, I highly recommend that, but you don't have to get it with that screen controller. You can use it with your phone. You can use it as a standalone. Now, if you do use it for that standalone features, you're going to lose a lot of range. It's going to be real close in. But if you just need something to follow you around, you and the kids around the park, or get a couple of selfie shots, this works great. Now, I do have a set of ND filters that I also purchased for this. I don't believe any of the footage I showed in this video had the ND filters on. So I think some of that footage actually would have looked better with an ND filter. So just take that for a grain of salt as well. If you are interested in one of these drones, I will put the link in my description. It is an affiliate link to Amazon, so I really appreciate if you do buy the drone that you'd use my link. All right guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. I've got a bunch more content on the way, and I've got a bunch already on the channel. Come back for more, and we'll catch you in the next one.